This is another NYPD episode. We got a woman trying to trip a cop, and then the obligatory "I didn't do nothing." This has happened. This is what I was just saying about respecting the police. Back in the day, cops were feared, and you needed that. You don't want a cop that's a friend to the neighborhood. You know, they just put that shit on the side of the cars as kind of, respect, service, to serve you. It's all horse. At least it used to be. The way it worked in the old days was you feared the police. That kept you from committing crimes. You didn't want to go to jail, obviously. But even before the jail prospect, if you were going to commit a crime, you didn't want to deal with the cops. They were scary. They would arrest you in a very harsh manner at times. And, conk you on the head, maybe knock a tooth out, break your nose. And this was necessary. Police are supposed to be scary. You don't want a cop. They turned cops into this helpful thing, which is fine. We all loved hearing about the cat stuck up in the tree, the little lost kid, and he's sitting on the big table, the big desk at the precinct, eating an ice cream cone with a hat on sideways, and the sergeant is like, we got your boy here, Mrs. O'Flanagan. That was them being, the nice part. But the majority of the time, that same cop was bashing someone over the head so they wouldn't do what they were doing again. Fear of the police was very, very strong. It was a very good way to keep people from breaking the law. Then it became this civilian oversight committee and police brutality and internal affairs and these claims of police abuse. And the cops had to change their strategy. And the politicians made them change their strategy by appointing police commissioners that were ineffectual and just not good at molding a police force into what they needed to be. A scary bunch of dudes who might fuck you up if you commit some crimes. Oh, well, then don't get involved with the cops. It was a great deterrent. And now it's more of, yes, ma'am, we'll get your phone for you. Yes, we'll put your shoes on. Hi, this is Anthony Cumia.
Hello, I'm Gavin McInnes.
And together we're Compound Censored.
And we would like you to subscribe with this deal using this promo code right below me right now.
Do it, because it's very entertaining. Please step out of the vehicle. You need to step out of the vehicle. And even if they end up dragging the person out of the vehicle, it's been a 30-minute exchange with a person that just needed to be fucking clocked in the head and dragged out of their car. And then meeting with community leaders and just let's bring back scary cops, because that's what worked. Scary cops. So now cops aren't just not scary anymore. They are a thing, a police force, individual cops that walk around and just are laughed at and abused by the community. So here's a clip, a cop, I guess he's going to take care of something. And a woman, a black woman, puts her leg out to trip the cop. And it's blatantly obvious. It's shown many times over in this clip. I think they slow motion it. And then when they go to, what's good is there's consequences. They go to arrest her. And what does she say when they arrest her? She didn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing. Just more lies. And she'll tell all her friends that they just threw her against the wall for nothing. Meanwhile, she tried to trip this guy. That's what's going on. Cops have to be scary enough where no one is going to try to trip the cop. Years ago, you were going to stick your foot out and try to trip a guy. He'd turn around and you'd be fucking tasting that mahogany bat that was in his utility belt. So watch this. This could only happen today. I did not do anything.
Help me!
Help me. Look at that. Whoop, there it is. I don't think anyone could argue that she was trying to trip that fucking guy. I didn't do anything. Help me. And there's some woman recording it because she didn't see what happened. And then the videos get out and they go, oh, another case of a black woman being put against the wall and arrested for nothing. Cops need to be scary. It's the only way this whole system works. We make some rules. We have cops enforce those rules. And then the cops are scary. So people don't want to break the rules and deal with the scary cops. If we get back to that, we'd be a lot better off. This coddling and meeting with community leaders and making concessions to criminals, allowing them, remember years ago, the water balloons and the water guns and the big pots full of water, and they were just throwing it on the cops and laughing. And the social media response was, the reasonable people said, this is ridiculous. It's very disrespectful to the cops. And the thugs were all like, oh, knock it off. They're just having some fun. No, it's demeaning to the cops. It classifies as assault. And the cops weren't allowed to do anything about it. Once you started castrating the cops and not allowing them to throw one of these fuckers down on their face when they throw water on you, it was over. Now they have no respect whatsoever, and they're going to be able to go into a subway and tell people you're not allowed to jump the turnstile. Fuck you. Fuck your mama. The Asian cops. Look at Jackie Chan, motherfucker, over here. There's no respect for the cops. And there's this expectation of respect that isn't even physically possible. They want the cops to respect them to a level of it doesn't exist. They don't understand the concept of earning respect. You want respect from the cops, you need to respect the cops. They don't get respect from the cops. They get the cops being browbeaten and told by their superiors that they have to treat these people like they're amazing, special people. So they can't even treat them with the lack of respect that they're due. And the cops get treated like shit. So good luck. And Zoran Mamdani, you think it's going to get better? You think Zoran is going to appoint a police commissioner as mayor and have these cops sit down and tell them, hey, that way is done. We're going back to, real strong law enforcement. And we will take down these perps and put them on their bellies and handcuff them and bring them in for crimes like turnstile jumping. Can you imagine that? I'd love to see any mayor and police commissioner do that. But to think you're going to get any kind of police force under a Mamdani mayor and whatever disaster he appoints as police commissioner, you think you're getting anything close to effective policing? Oh, you're out of your fucking mind. Out of your mind. And these people voting for him, they think they're going to get a safer New York because Zoran will do more coddling. They're there, thug. Don't worry about these cops. We'll send a social worker to your house. You know, whenever a lunatic family member, a violent thug family member is at their mama or their grandmammy's house and they start shit to the point where grandmammy or mama calls the cops, they've already passed any point that a social worker can remedy. It's the last thing they do is call the cops. It's at the point where they feel that their loved one, their family member who's going off on a tear in the house, breaking shit, hitting people, threatening people's lives, they go, we need the cops here. And Mamdani is going to send, because it's a domestic dispute, Mamdani is going to send social workers there, some type of counseling session with the young lad and his elderly grandmammy. It has disaster in the making. And I can't wait, quite frankly. I can't wait. I don't like the idea that my friends and family that are still in New York will have to deal with such a catastrophe as a city run by a communist and his ilk. But it's the only way we get an I told you so out of it. And we really need to be able to say, I told you so on this one. It's not just spiteful. It's not just incredibly satisfying to say, I told you so. But it shows, it's evidence, it's proof that this will not work. If he lost the election, then what? Then you have whoever's in there as mayor. They could do the best job they want to do. There's going to be slip-ups. There's going to be bureaucracy. There's going to be things that he can't get done. And then people will go, oh, Mamdani would have done such a better job. And then everyone goes, no, he wouldn't have. Well, yes, he would have. So we need documented proof that this guy will be a disaster that has never been seen before, even under de Blasio. So we need it. Sorry, New York, you got to go through this. It'll build character. It'll teach you to be a little more attentive in the electoral process, to get your ass out of your seats and to the polling places and make sure a competent mayor who will do the things that the people of New York want done, and not just a few nuts running around that think a communist is a great person to run New York. An extreme Muslim communist will be a great guy to run the city of New York. Good luck. Good luck, New York. You're going to need it. You will need that. AOC was at the Mamdani rally. There was a big Mamdani rally at Forest Hills Stadium last night. 13,000 people. He packed the stadium. 13,000 people. AOC and Bernie were also there, and they got up and gave their little speeches. And AOC is such a piece of garbage. She went from being a bartender to being a representative in Queens, New York. She got that gig because of her big fucking tits. That's it. There's no experience this woman had that made her qualify for that job. She went out, she did some social media stuff. She was on some news programs. People went, wow, look at her ample tits. And she's not, a hound at the time. She's gaining a little weight, isn't she? And we looked at her dancing video from when she was up in college, up in Boston. spinning around, dancing with her big fucking tits. And she gets elected. And now she's talking like she knows what the fuck she's talking about. She's backing Mamdani. She's giving speeches. And of course, when she gets up there and starts yelling, she's got to bring up the race and the nationality of everyone except white people, by the way, except white people. And then she's, talking about, and listen when she talks about Latinas and Latin people and the Latino community, Latino. She goes full spick, if I may be so bold. Watch this lunatic. It's almost like, and then we're going to go over there, and we're going to Iowa, and then we'll go to North Carolina, and South Carolina. Yeah! It's like one of those. Watch this.
This city was built by the Irish escaping famine, Italians fleeing fascism, Jews escaping Holocaust, Black Americans fleeing slavery and Jim Crow, Latinos seeking a better life, Native people standing for themselves, Asian Americans coming together in Queens, in Brooklyn, in the Bronx, in Manhattan, in Staten Island, in this country, in a vision to build the freest, toughest, and greatest city on earth. This city.
Yeah, well, Mamdani ain't gonna do it. Do you see the three swamis behind him? Behind her? She's talking about things, the crowd's kind of getting worked up, and these three fucking swamis, they're not human beings. Like, they're not caught up in anything. They just hold the signs. Oh, Mamdani. They're so unrelatable. I just see them in cabs. It's the only time I ever see them in cabs. But there she is, and we're going to make the greatest city, with the diversity. It's done. New York's done. Let's be real. Walk around New York. It's not like the old days where, you're walking through a sea of white guys with suits and ties. We're working in the office buildings that are towering over your head, and the paper boy, like the old days. Now it's just a mishmash of fucking people that want nothing to do with each other and their little groups. Diversity doesn't work like that. It's not a TV commercial. You're not sitting at a TGI Fridays with a black and a white lesbian and an Asian and a Latina, and it doesn't happen. People don't want to hang out with different groups of people. So everyone, with more diversity comes more division. You just don't want to be there. So you walk down the sidewalks and you're just like, I have no fucking common interest with any of these people. Yelling, black women are yelling. Those swamis are on their fucking earphones. 9/11. Yeah. It's just everyone's all to themselves. This great diversity. It's not, back in the day, you had some things in common. You could sit down and grab some lunch, or sit at a bar and grab a beer and spark up a conversation with somebody because you had a common lifestyle. You're both white dudes. You're working in New York City. You just, it's how it works. You don't want to sit and all of a sudden you're going to turn to that swami with the towel on his head. How's the wife and kids? That's not good. It's not this good thing, diversity. But they'll yell and scream about it. A communist mayor will give us the freest city. Did I hear Big Tits say that correctly? A commie will make the freest city. And then, the free buses that cost $700 million. the rent freeze. What's that gonna? What'll that do for the city besides make it broke? It'd just be a broke ass city. That's what it's gonna be. This has happened before under certain Democrat mayors, and there was the white flight. A lot of white people moved out to the suburbs, and there was no one left to pay the bills in New York. And the city was broke. And that's just going to happen. But like I said, we need the we told you so. So kind of can't wait. Kind of can't wait for Mamdani. And then the latest report is Curtis Sliwa, in a head-to-head match against Mamdani, is now polling higher than Cuomo. Now, they want Curtis to drop out of the race, and they want Cuomo to go head-to-head against Mamdani based on previous polling. But now, if the polling's showing Curtis is ahead, then shouldn't Cuomo drop out? Shouldn't there be a call for Cuomo to drop out of the race? And since Curtis is the Republican candidate and Mamdani is the Democrat candidate, and if Curtis is polling stronger than Cuomo, then of course the independent Cuomo should drop out. He should drop out of the race. I think more Cuomo voters would vote for Curtis if Cuomo dropped out. More of his voters would vote for Curtis than the other way around. If Curtis dropped out, not one of Curtis's voters is voting for fucking Cuomo. Ain't gonna happen. Just ain't gonna fucking happen. Yeah. How about this? It's labeled "Howling Monkeys Rob a WaWa." Now, why would I put something like "Howling Monkeys Rob a WaWa"? There are no howling monkeys in Jersey or Philly, Pennsylvania. I'm not sure where this is exactly. But you listen and you tell me, because maybe I'm wrong, but I've heard howling monkeys before, and this sounds like a howling monkey.
Oh my goodness! Oh my God! They still it! Y'all not bold. Y'all ain't gonna leave out with it.
I paid for this shit.
This is outrageous. They all just stealing.
That shit not cute. Y'all got mom and dad.
Dirty
That's
as
a mess.
shit.
That's not cute.
Well, there you go. I'll leave it to you. I believe there was a howling monkey in a WaWa stealing things. I didn't see it. I think the resolution of the video, but I heard a howling monkey. So call me racist if you like. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong on that one. So if you enjoyed that clip,
Then subscribe to Compound Censored using this promo code.